Hello again, citizens. Caroline here. You know that when the Constitution was created, the Founding Fathers delegated certain powers to the federal government. But in order to create a separation of powers, not just between three branches, but also between the federal and state governments, they wanted to empower the people and the states in which they lived. They intentionally made that clear by adding the 9th and 10th Amendments to the Bill of Rights, limiting the power of the federal government, strengthening rights for citizens, and giving more power to states. Today we look at those powers that were reserved especially for state governments. Our objectives today are to summarize the powers and responsibilities reserved for state governments and to explain why state governments have those powers. Let's get to it! States have many powers, some of which have a more direct bearing on the lives of citizens than those of the federal government. For example, states conduct elections. Now you may be thinking, but we vote for president and senate and representatives. All true, but where are those elections held, and who administers them? The only real unity among the 50 states regarding the election process is this. General elections, which include federal offices, are held on the first Tuesday of November each year, as long as it isn't November 1st. Otherwise, states decide when they will have primary elections, and what methods they'll use for voting, the hours for polls to be open, requirements for absentee voting, and mail-in ballots, the process for registration, really everything. States are also given power over licensing. That is a rather broad category that includes license plates for vehicles and individual driver's licenses, including requirements and minimum age to operate a vehicle. Other licenses include those for many occupations, including lawyers, teachers, nurses, and doctors. Many other careers also require state licensing. You even have to be licensed for activities such as hunting and fishing. Oh, and weddings! You have to have a license to get married. State governments control marriage laws, including minimum ages and who can conduct ceremonies. Doing this protects young people and ensures that the government has records of all marriages for tax purposes. States also set their own educational standards, including curriculum, testing, number of days for students, and other topics relating to schools, including those for homeschool students. States regulate business within their borders as well. This includes taxes, licenses, and other administrative factors that can attract businesses to certain states or encourage new ones to open. Among those businesses are establishments selling alcoholic beverages. You may remember that following the 21st Amendment, states pass and administer their own unique laws regarding the sale of liquor. State governments also provide for public safety and health for their citizens. This is a broad responsibility that includes police agencies and correctional services. It also includes managing health departments as well as ambulance and emergency medical services. It even includes agencies such as fire and rescue, emergency management, hazardous materials response teams, and animal control. But we haven't yet mentioned what is perhaps the most important power of state governments. State governments establish local governments, those for cities and counties across the United States. The 50 states are divided into more than 3,000 counties, each of which runs its own government and provides services to citizens. And in those 3,000 counties are some 36,000 cities and towns, most with some form of local government. It's in these cities and counties that communities provide and maintain utilities, such as electricity, water, and natural gas. They build and manage local facilities such as parks, sports fields, and libraries. They operate schools and hire teachers to educate the children of the community. Necessary services, such as sewage and sanitation, are managed in cities and counties across the United States. Police and fire departments can be found in these locations, provided by local governments along with 911 services and other first responders. Even more specifically, counties conduct vital tasks, such as registering citizens to vote, supervising elections, assessing property, and collecting taxes. County governments also are at the forefront of administering health and public welfare services. It could be said that local governments maintain the records of our existence. It's here that birth certificates, marriage licenses, criminal and civil court records, and death certificates are filed. Since these services are not delegated to the federal government in the Constitution, states reserve the right to make laws concerning these topics to serve the people. With the diversity of the states, it is often necessary for specific laws and services to vary from one state to another. It was true with 13 states, and even more true today with 50. Nor are local governments mentioned in the Constitution, putting them under the authority of state governments. Particularly by delegating responsibility for many tasks to the local level, those state governments are able to better meet the needs of the people. Vote, debate, and participate, young citizens, and remember to always be clever.
Hey, hey.